Good evening. Sorry we're a little late. Had some stuff to deal with. Welcome to episode 189 of Live Drawing. We might have a pal joining us in a little bit. We'll see. Yeah, we just came back from the Harry's comic show in Franklin, and that was a great time had by all. So it's been around for 30 years, and it was it's an old fashioned comic show. It's one of those shows that hasn't changed in years, and you can find great deals on comics. You can find great deals on artwork. There were Mike Dougherty was there. He's another regional artist who's been sitting up there for a long time, and yeah, we sold some Undersea Heroes. We sold some sketches. The new mini sketches were very popular. People were checking those out online when we posted. These little mini cards that I did. They're a little bit bigger than sketch cards. You know, I did a bunch of these just to see how they do. Got tick characters. The Donatello sold, so you know, this is the infamous. I even redid my label, the infamous $25 binder, and these are all originals that end up at the table. And we've got the minis, we've got prelims, we've got character designs, studies. This was actually drawn on a market basket grocery bag, sketches. These were studies from when I did my Conan cover. I had to kind of just figure out what my version of Conan looked like. We talked a lot about on this channel how I feel when I'm drawing a character. It doesn't look like the character I've read for so many years, so it doesn't feel right. And I would say that it takes me a little while. Cover prelims. This was the initial design for the Protozoan, which was the main character that first shows up in the latest Tick issue, or the last Tick issue from NEC. He's the Protozoan. He was created by Benito Zarino, who was a writer on the Adam Eve Invincible series. Interior prelims from Tick pages. My studies of Belit, and that's actually one of the things I point out, that if you picked up my Conan cover, that is the first Titan appearance of Belit on the back cover of the wraparound. Character studies, just doodling. Like, these are things that I'll doodle, just when I'm talking on the phone or whatever. And, character studies. This is Brissa. She has her first appearance in the Conan book that I did a cover for. Yeah. Hercules from the Charlton comics. This is just what I do when I'm like goofing off. So or when I'm trying to gear up for a piece. Page layouts, the Charlton hosts, just because I was goofing off. Trying to get our guest on here. Let's see if I have the technical ability to do this. Hey, Marthas, good to see you. But yeah, and then like I said, these little mini sketches. It's more finished. They're smaller, but I think for $25, it's a great deal. Like, considering what a remark costs these days, so you can get any of the main characters that I had done over the years. I don't love the ears on this. I might go in and add some more noodle on it. I don't know. That's the $25 binder. So There we go.
All right, I'm here now. Yay.
We made it.
Yay.
Excellent.
God.
Everyone, our friend Allison has decided to join us tonight. Welcome, Allison.
Hey, how's it going? No, I'm not using AI.
No. Let's see here. Let's see if I can turn. How do I turn this thing off? There it is. Hey, you're not going to be able to see the comments, but we'll do our best to, if somebody asks a question, to read it back to you. Which I'm bad at, so probably need your help with that.
That's fine. I'm just gonna I'll open the stream up on my iPad and now I can see things. Yeah.
I showed off the new additions to the $25 binder while you were gone. The mini sketches and the usual prelims, things like that.
So the cool stuff.
The process stuff, it's the cheap stuff. Let's not lie.
That's true. I have to actually work on my $25 binder.
Yeah. So. This is when people we're working on box doodles on bigger boxes tonight. This one is on a big priority flat mail box, and this is what I use to ship the 11x17s. I'll put the pages in top loaders, put an extra piece of cardboard in here, and then tape the bejesus out of it. And and this is where we have to say something incredibly nice about the post office, because you just go online and you tell them you need boxes, and then they drop them off for free.
It's amazing.
If people don't realize that you can get your mailing supplies for free from the USPS, welcome to that knowledge.
Yep. No, I've definitely used that. Okay, I think I got it so I can see the live chat now.
Martha says, "Hey, Allison."
Hey. Maybe.
I know Martha's been doing the crazy, like tons and tons of gesture drawings every day for like a month now. So.
That is definitely crazy.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing where like during a day, and I know we've talked about this, like you try to get a few in between, but when you have to crank out like work stuff, like I don't know, I try to carve out the time. I feel bad that I don't have more time for it.
Yeah, I know that feeling. I mean, I'm just happy if I can get my blobbies in and then get to work off of those.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I need to do some blobbies.
Yeah, it's tough to get this whole box in the camera just because it's such a big box. But. And I know you've been on deadline mode, so thanks for joining us.
Dear God, yeah. I don't want to start with this.
And no game night tonight, so.
Nope.
Their loss is our gain.
I'm dealing with MS issues too, so.
I'm sorry.
I have to go. I have an appointment on Friday. That is insanely important. So.
Oh, we'll all be wishing you the best.
Thank you.
I hope it goes well.
The other day, I might have to get surgery. So.
Well, hopefully it's not major, and hope it makes you feel better.
Yeah, it's a hope. Who would have guessed spending 45 minutes on the ice was a bad thing?
45 minutes on the ice?
Yep.
I
fell a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, okay, geez.
Yeah, and
you were skating? What?
Oh yeah, I was skating. Yeah.
You didn't invite me? What was going on here?
this because I'm definitely gonna go play hockey without you.
Yep. I figured. So we got Little Giant coming up. That's exciting. It's
Oh, I'm so looking forward to that.
our big. We put a link in the description. If you decide to get yourself a VIP ticket, you get one of 3 exclusive Undersea Hero prints, and they're by Joe St. Pierre, Rich Woodall, and myself. And you just bring them around, and you can get them signed for free. Joe actually was kind enough to, because it was we're his pal. He for this one thing, he's waiving his signing fee.
Oh, that's good.
I was looking at we just had the Little Franklin Elks show this past weekend. And,
Yeah.
and
If I realized that was going on, I would have actually gone to it. I just didn't even really think about it. So
it's really, you remember the Attleboro show. It's really exactly like it. It's in a different place, but it's even some of the same dealers. Like the guys, I saw the guys from Bedrock Comics were there. Jimmy was there, and Jackie showed up, which was cool because I haven't seen him in ages. Rubber Chicken guys are there. A lot of the same dealers are there, and you find great deals. Mike Dougherty was set up, one of the local artists, and he's been an art teacher around here forever. The only thing that I would say is different, and I'm sorry, I loved the lunch cart that used to pull up the food, the
oh yeah,
construction site food truck that used to come up to the old one.
Yes.
I didn't try the food at the new one, so I can't say if it's good, bad, or indifferent. But I loved that food truck.
Why am I not seeing anything?
It looked exactly like the one where Homer's pounding on it, saying "Where's my burrito?" and then it collapses on him.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah,
that's absolutely perfect. Okay. Oh, man.
One-line contour drawings.
Damn it.
Contour drawings are cool when you're trying to do the depth with just like layers of outlines, where it looks kind of like I don't know how old our audience is, but way back in the day, before you had LCD screens and all these fancy computer deals, when you looked at a color image on a screen, like in, let's say, the original Command and Conquer game, you could see the little areas of different color tones when something was in color. And when you're doing a contour drawing, you're kind of doing those little outlines. If you've never seen a contour map, like when they'd show a hill or whatever, it's a really interesting exercise to look at depth and think about line.
That makes sense. I hadn't really thought about doing that in forever.
It was something we did back in school. When I'm trying to figure out a new shape or like a new way, let's say clothes drape, especially if it's a style I hadn't drawn before, I'll sometimes do that in the pencil stage just to really get a better understanding of the shape, the depth, and the weight of it, and trying to give it volume.
That makes sense.
I don't know. We've talked about this. I'm not great at necessarily picturing a final image in my head and tracing it on paper like some people are.
Oh, I'm terrible in it. So yeah.
It's kind of like more like molding clay and working through that process for me.
The piece I'm working on right now that I'm trying to just get my initial blobby in there good is, I'm probably going to erase it and do it a couple times. So
yeah.
I don't even want to show you my thumbnails.
I love thumbnails because it shows, and it's amazing because when you see on the last page, like the final piece, like even if there's no detail on it, you can see like this is the main composition, like foreground, middle ground, background, or whatever whatever the shot is, like you can see it in those shapes, and that's like, I don't know, that's one of my favorite things.
Yeah, that tracks.
Like
Oh,
when we bought those unfinished Bernie Wrightson pieces from him at that show.
those were great.
Just
Those
seeing
were
them,
absolutely great.
yeah. It was funny, like the one that I picked up, I didn't really even know the book it was from. I just saw what it was, and it ended up being a prelim for his story in the first issue of Hellraiser from the
Oh,
from the yeah from the first appearance and stuff. And I'm like, I didn't know that for years. Like I just saw that it was the title of the story was called The Warm Red, so I was like, oh, it must be like a creator-owned thing or whatever. That's not, because if you search for that title, it wouldn't come up for just that. And eventually, I don't know, I saw a page from it on an art dealer's site, and I was like, oh, that's the page that I have, but that's the finished version. But it's saying it's from Hellraiser. I was like, I did not know that.
that's cool. That is very cool.
Do I remember you got one that had like a little bit of ink on it too?
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
I had I had one of them that he definitely spilled ink on, and and then I had one that had some ink on it. One of them I think was something from looked like it was a rough for a werewolf drawing, which I think led to the eventually the cover for oh, what was it? House of Mystery.
Oh, cool. Yeah. He did. I know he did that, and he did that. What was that? The one he did with Stephen King with Cycle of the
Oh,
Werewolf.
Cycle the Werewolf. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a cool. That was some cool stuff too.
Yeah. And
I
he
have that
get
book signed by him.
you do. Oh, okay.
Yep. Well, then again, that same show, I brought the suitcase of rights and stuff.
I remember you had like most of the Swamp Things at the time to get signed.
Yep. Yeah, he had already signed the ones that I didn't bring.
That makes sense.
To say I'm a Wrightson fan is probably an understatement.
I saw some Wrightson at the show this weekend. Not major books. Not like I didn't see a first Swamp Thing or anything. I did see plenty of issues of the Swamp Thing series, but I didn't see the House of Mystery or anything. But I did see some really excellent the 70s horror stuff, and then some of the magazine work he had done. I saw some of those. Like what was the one that he did with the guys from National Lampoon. They all did that one magazine that had like 4 issues, and it got canceled.
Yeah, I can't remember. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and it had all the studio guys in it.
Yeah. God, the studio guys. That's dated.
Yeah.
How many of them are left? Kelly Jones?
Just Kaluta, I think.
Yeah, Kaluta. That's right.
And I've never met Kaluta.
I have not either.
And I know that like what's his name? Dan Green, when he was young, hung around a lot with those guys, but I don't think he was like in the studio. But he's since passed. So
yeah, I want to say that Kelly Jones hung out with them, but I don't think he was a studio guy. I'm not positive.
Yeah, I don't think he was either. I know he was good friends with Butch Geis, who another guy who recently passed away young.
Yeah.
A lot of Bronze Age stuff. Still heavy in the Bronze Age stuff at that show.
Well, that's my favorite stuff.
Yeah.
I think we share that in common.
I will say, yeah, of course. I will say, like, the Charlton books have dried up for whatever reason. Like, they're just not, I observed this during the big boom, the big COVID comics boom. Like, they pulled them all out of the dollar bins at that point, and then now they're all they're just not going back. I think they just don't want to reprice them.
That's probably it. Don't you have everything by Charlton?
I don't, and it's funny. Like Jimmy Talbot, who ran Boston Comic Con, asked me that same question. He's like, "Don't you have them all by now?" And it's, I told him maybe if I bought collections, I'd have them all by now. But because I can only ever afford to get like 1 or 2 at a time, like every time you've seen me for like 30 years, I've bought a couple. So like, I don't know. There's also just so many.
Yeah, there's a lot.
They were around from the, you know, right after World War II all the way to 1985.
Yeah, and then they joined with DC.
That's a whole nother crazy thing of how the properties got sold in the parking lot along with silver plates and original artwork and stuff.
Yep. I was gonna say I thought that was sold in the parking lot. I was
Yep.
pretty sure I was right on that.
Yeah. And then some of the characters went to a guy who's kind of reclusive up in Canada and nobody can do anything with them. And I don't know how Pete Morrissey got his rights back to Thunderbolt, but he does. His trust or family estate still owns that character, and that's why he kind of randomly showed up at Dynamite for a hot minute.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't really thought about that.
Well, he's not one of the more popular characters, so it's just he showed up at DC for a little bit, but that was because Pete Morrissey licensed it to him, and he actually did a single short story that was going to be in Secret Origins as like the here's Pete Cannon again origin, and it never got published until Dynamite eventually published it, and it was written. I think it's a dialogue by a young Mark Waid at the time.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, useless comic knowledge.
Yeah, well, if I need to ever talk to anybody about things that happen in comics, you're kind of the first person to go to. So
at least maybe just at Charlton or some of the sillier stuff. But Patrick says everyone named Butch is cool or ought to be.
Yeah, we can go with that.
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, one of my go-to stuck on a flight movies.
Yes, I can agree with that.
Because it's always available on there, a little on-demand thing on the flight for whatever reason.
Yeah, I don't understand why. I mean, are they trying to tell us something?
They'll have like 3 kind of new movies that you were like, I didn't really want to see this, and then they'll have some classic movies, and that's like one of the ones I always see on there. All right.
I got that lobbied enough that I can actually do some line work. I like your tick.
Yeah, just a quick one on there. Got to fill up a lot of space on the bigger envelope. It's interesting because I really got used to drawing on the toned cardboard, so I don't know how the markers are going to look on this thing when we add a little bit of color. So we'll all have to experiment and see.
Well, that would be kind of cool though to see what comes out of that.
Because I've never used the paint markers on white before.
Oh, the Poscas and stuff?
I've got some Poscas, and then what I actually bought were, because I had to do so many, we've already done 100 and some. I bought the cheapest paint markers that Michael sells out of the craft section.
Oh, Artist Lofts or whatever?
That's right, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I bought some of their stuff.
I wouldn't use them for signing stuff, but for remarks, they seem to work just fine on cardboard.
That's something to keep in mind. I mean, I have a bunch of Posca stuff that I got with some Christmas money a few years ago, and I do like that. But...
Yeah. I have a few of those too. They're just real expensive, and for doing a large volume for free drawings, I was like, let's see what we can make happen.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of on your side of that, so very much so. I should get a smaller nose than that.
So you said you popped over and said hi to Mr. Finch?
Yep. Yeah, I was on his stream. He was doing a review of some of my artwork.
I missed that one. I saw his Rom Space Knight drawing one. That was cool.
Yeah, I wasn't home for that one, so I missed that one. I wanted to watch that one too, because that was the Sal Buscema tribute one. And I think he's going to do a Sam Keith tribute one.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, no, he was looking through some of my last Sentinel stuff, and he just went, I got nothing. He's like, your stuff is really improved. I love it. Keep doing it. He asked me, like, how do you use 3D for your backgrounds? These look hand drawn. I said, that's because they are hand drawn.
Oh, that is cool. Sorry, I was looking for a color.
Oh, I understand.
And I think it. Oh, there it is. It's at the bottom of the bag, of course.
I have my bag of stuff, so I get it.
I know Doug makes fun of me for using Ziploc bags too. So.
Oh, that's what I used to use. Then Marie made me that bag. I had that, and I had my dinosaur pencil bag.
I feel like a dinosaur pencil bag is a legitimate carrier for art supplies.
I agree completely. But she made me a Spider-Gwen one, so I was like, I gotta use that. I don't like how this looks. But yeah, no, yeah, he was looking at some of my last Sentinel stuff, the 2-page spread that I did. I think you've seen it. And it has basically the barroom brawl sequence.
Oh yes, I have seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, he absolutely loved it. He's just like, yeah, this is really good. I was very happy to hear.
Yeah.
I will admit that I have sent him art before and asked for critiques on it to his email, and he has gotten back to me. Granted, I also ran D&D for him, so Dave is a friend.
I didn't know he was a D&D player.
Yep. Yeah, he likes D&D. He couldn't play. He had to actually stop because of Skinwalker, whatever the heck the name of the book he's working on is.
Skinbreaker?
Skinbreaker. That's it. Not Skinwalker. That's a Native American thing. I don't want to cause problems. So, yeah. So he was he's working on that, and he's like, it was so funny when he was working on that and couldn't talk about it, and he was on one of my on my channel, like drawing one of my characters for my birthday, and somebody's like, "Oh, can we hear about the secret project?" And he's like, "Nope, I can't really talk about it, but it's really cool." And I made the comment, I'm like, "I can't talk about it either because Dave hasn't told me what it is." And then Dave goes, "No, she knows." And I'm like, "Dave."
Left you hanging.
What was really funny, he hadn't told me at that time.
Oh, okay.
I made him tell me after that. I said, "What am I not telling people?" He goes, "Oh, I didn't tell you." I'm like, "No." He goes, "Oh, you're fine doing this."
Yeah.
But I got to see all of the art.
That's cool.
Yeah, because he had the pile that everything was done on 2-page spread pieces.
Yeah, he was doing them twice up.
Yeah.
I saw. Yeah, he did a stream where he showed him off, and I did catch that. When I actually went to buy, I'm not good at pre-ordering comics, so when I went to go buy the book at the store, it was already sold out. So I will have to look for it in the secondary market.
The only reason I got them is because Dave sent me some. So
that would do it. I did see that they were talking about, or they were gonna do a just a black and white version, and the colors look very nice. But if I could find that version, that's the one I would like to purchase.
I want the black and white version if they do it, and there's a solid chance they are going to do it. So
I don't need an artist edition, but I thought that they maybe did like just a black and white, like when they did the Mark Silvestri black and white version of his book, the Batman.
His Batman stuff. That was amazing.
And that was an instance where, and I don't feel this is the case when I saw Dave's book. I just thought on the Silvestri stuff, he did so much like tiny 0.005 line art that it like, if you wanted to even see it, like any color on top of it would make it hard to see.
Yeah, no, Silvestri's. I think that was the best book that Silvestri's ever done.
It very well could be, you know. I'd be interested if he thinks it is.
Yeah, I would be curious to know that.
Because I know he's talked about how, like, you know, as much as he loved doing Cyberforce at that time, like he was saying on it was either a podcast or an interview that like he didn't feel like he was necessarily fully doing his own thing at that point. Like he was doing like kind of what he did at Marvel a little bit and a little bit of what Jim was doing. And then it was when he started to add his own stuff that he really felt like he was cooking.
Yeah. No, I remember him talking about that too. He was just like, yeah, I'm not really feeling this because it's just more of the same.
Yeah, I'd be interested. It's always interesting to hear what people think. Are there either favorite, not necessarily best, because everybody's always improving, but just maybe their favorite works of theirs. Because I always tell people with the tick stuff, like, I don't know if it's my best cover, but my favorite one is still the one with the tick cycle.
Oh, I love that one.
Blowing up the logo.
Yeah, I love that one. That was such a good one. My favorite stuff of yours is your Helena stuff.
Well, thank you. I actually had 2 people ask me if I was doing more Helena at the show. And I do have like most of a story penciled, inked, washed, and lettered. I've got to do like 6 or 7 pages on it. And once we're done fulfilling, that'll probably be the first thing to knock off the list. And I actually have a couple of really great pieces. I've got one by Yvel Guichet, who did the very first appearance of Harley Quinn in the regular DCU with that one shot.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
He did a run on Aquaman. He worked at Valiant and stuff. I've had a piece of his that's just beautiful sitting in my drawer that nobody's seen. So that'll probably be the cover to it. And then a friend of the channel, Eli Stone, did a piece that we'll be putting in that for sure.
I gave you a piece for that too.
We do have your piece. Teamed up with your character.
Yep. Well, we were talking about doing that kind of crossover stuff.
Yeah. Well, if you wanted me to put it in that, I can. Or if you want to save it for a crossover story, we can do that too.
I could say, pretty much either way. I mean, that character's changed a little bit. She's gotten a bit more Red Sonja-esque. So, if I was going to do a crossover with Helena now, I think I'd want to use my Last Sentinel character.
Okay. Well, then we'll put it in as a pinup. We'll put it in there. You could tell people, in the chronology of the character that if it came out after she's changed, that it's like a flashback or something.
Yeah, that could work too. I'm not staying on model for this.
Definitely taking longer to dry on this.
A little tacky.
This box, yeah. We'll have to let it sit, and then we might have to spray it.
I need to get some of that spray to preserve in my pencils and stuff at some point.
That is one product that I stick to the Winsor Newton version. They do make cheaper ones, but I do find that the cheaper ones will yellow.
Okay, so Winsor Newton was the one I was looking at. So
yeah.
I didn't really want to skimp on that product.
It's on that list of things in life, like along with, in my opinion, trash bags. Buying the cheap trash bags will kill you.
Yeah, no, I've made that mistake.
We all have. Like these are like $2 less, and then at some point you're carrying it out to the cans, and it falls apart. Yep. And then it's raining. You're looking up at the heavens, swearing, or that's just me?
No, I've been there.
What did I do to deserve this? No, that's a Pet Shop Boys song.
I've definitely been there.
I don't have any sort of like Caucasian skin tone, so we might have to grab a colored pencil for that on this white.
Well, if you got an alcohol marker that you could do, you could like do a really light on there and then go in with a colored pencil and pop it.
See? That's a good idea. I don't have those, but I'm sure it would look better if I did that.
I don't have them in easy reach, but I have my huge bag of like Oahu markers or whatnot, whatever they are, Oahu or something. The Copic knockoffs that are really good.
The color's good?
Yeah. And then I have I did not skimp on my colored pencils. I have the Faber-Castell Polychromos.
Yeah, I have a Faber-Castell set that I've had since high school. That my dad got me for Christmas one year, and it's this box here,
Oh, cool.
old wooden box. So I think that's what we'll have to use for the Caucasian skin tone.
That works.
Let's see if I can get out of here. Let's do that.
It's funny, I've been working so much digitally lately. I much prefer drawing traditionally. This takes me so much longer.
Well, doing digitally, it'll save you time on stuff. Like we talked about, when I did those Wally comics, I had to do them so fast, and they wanted like really, really specific stuff in them. So like, I
Yeah.
would, for like Fenway Park, they'd be like, "Can you show section whatever?" And like, look, I know how to draw it, but because they needed it so fast, I just traced it off on the background and then drew the characters on it. So like,
Yeah.
that was just time saver.
Well, as we were talking earlier, it's like the character I'm working on right now, I literally built a 3D model.
Yeah, and see, I think that that's super cool, and I still want to bug you about at some point doing like the Undersea Heroes base or whatever in 3D.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'd
that
happily
would,
do that for you.
because they are. It's a very cool tool.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of my backgrounds and stuff I will build in 3D.
Yeah, you shared us one on the channel at one point. It was like a whole environment that you had done.
Oh yeah, the city I was doing, like the city block.
Yep,
And then I
yep,
put like a spaceship over it.
yep, yep. And everyone was giving you the kudos and the oohs and the ahs.
Mm. Yeah, that was it. A lot of that stuff also they have people make generators for them. They're not AI. But they have like they design a bunch of like generic buildings, and then they tell you it's like if you make your own buildings, this is how you slot them in.
Oh,
So then you
okay,
can like make a square and it'll just build everything with pure stuff.
that is cool.
Yeah, it's a city builder. It's called. It's a plugin for Blender.
Yeah, I know people for years. I mean, and I even did it at one point with like screenshot, even like Google Earth or whatever, because you can move the camera right into a city, and it's almost like you were flying.
Yeah,
And I know that like that it would not be super crisp, so it did take some ability to be like, okay, if the uh, vanishing point is here, this is how the window gets finished or whatever. Like you had to
yeah,
know where your endpoints were.
yep. Because yeah, the Google Map stuff is great, but it's not.
It's not precise.
Yeah, you don't want to trace that. You might want to do like a get a base roughy done on it, and then go with your perspective over it.
Yeah, I thought it was good just for reference. Like this is what a building in this city looks like, and then you could invent stuff from there.
Yes, yeah, no, I
Um,
completely agree with that.
Because like you've been around, you've seen plenty of cities in the areas. You've been to New York, and you know that like a building in New York generally has its own flavor versus a lot of the buildings in Boston. And you could see a building like one of the the brownstones or whatever, and if you just drew one of those in the background, anybody who knows like, oh well, that's in Cambridge or Somerville or whatever.
Yep. Yeah,
And
anybody from around here will immediately know. Oh, there's a 3-decker. It's got to be from Boston.
yeah, they're in Dorchester.
Exactly. Uh, or they could be in the suburb of Boston, Providence.
If the bridge is open, right?
Yeah, exactly. I can say that. I lived there for years.
I like Providence. It's but it doesn't have like a train, like a rail system, except for the Amtrak going elsewhere. Like I mean, in the city.
Yeah, they have some buses, but I don't know if they're that good. I never used them.
I've only taken the bus there when we were when Jay and I were going to New York, and the bus to New York that we caught, we switched over to right in front of the convention center there.
Oh, yeah. Did you use the old the Chinese bus line when it was
We
active?
did, yes, we did use
Yeah.
the Fenghua line.
Yeah, I used them a few times. They were great.
I mean, if you were someone who had the extra $20 and took the Bolt bus, well,
Hmm.
Mr. or Ms. Moneybags,
Yeah, exactly.
whoever
No.
that person was taking the Bolt bus. Isn't that how rich people get to New York? They take the expensive bus.
Yeah, they take the Bolt bus. They go there to New York. That's exactly how they do it. I just
It's a status symbol, really.
Yep. Well, that worked out. Like looking at the tick's face on there. It's colored pencil.
Yeah,
Yeah, that worked.
worked enough. You know.
It worked fine.
Thank you. One down. Got two more of these bigger ones to do.
Yeah, I'm waiting for some of my stuff to come in so I can actually send it out. Oh. I had to go looking up 80s hairstyles.
That's fun. I was looking at some hairstyles today myself. On my search history now, there is mom haircuts.
I had to do with the manga that I'm doing. It's set in 1984.
The year of my birth.
Oh God, I'm old. It's also the year Turtles came out.
Yeah, I actually Camille gave me a Ninja Turtle shirt that has from the animated first cartoon, like the first miniseries. It has the four turtles around it, and then it says 1984 on it.
Fantastic.
I needed some new convention shirts. I hadn't bought any in years, so they were all looking pretty ratty.
Yeah, yeah, I know how that feels. My Maquis shirt, I think I really got to retire it. Got that in 2007. So
Yeah, it's done a good job. Rest
yep,
easy, soldier.
yep. A few of my Star Wars shirts. Yeah, I need a few new ones. Oh, speaking of Star Wars, boy, did I get something cool. I don't get a hernia lifting it. Oh.
Oh, I think I know. I think she's going to show us a giant book she got.
It's the art of the Star Wars manga series from the manga that came out. The Dark Horse translated them and brought them over, and they flipped them, which is a travesty. But they flipped them, all the art in it. This is the original art by Tamaki Hisao. And finding other manga that this guy has drawn has been very hard for me. I love his work on this. Like, this is my favorite Star Wars ever done, is this right here. And this is the art of, and it's all the original art. It's the actual manga pages.
So it's more like an artist's edition.
Yep. And it's got the translation guide in there too.
Oh, very cool. Just a couple of hellos. Hello, Brian. Hello, Desiree. Hey, Jonathan.
But yeah, this thing is gorgeous. I'm just going to open it to a random page. Yep, so that's the original manga.
Very cool.
It's even got like texture.
I remember reading some of the X-Men translated manga from the like early '90s. I've never read any of the Star Wars.
This was just such a great series. The way this was done, I love the art in this so much. Also, he made the lightsaber fights feel just so amazing. That is something cool.
Boba Fett and Han Solo.
Yep. Unfortunately, this is special edition stuff, but the one thing I will say about it is Han shoots first.
Which you can only see on Laserdisc now.
Yep, or the 4K version that was taken from the Laserdisc and updated.
Yeah, I had heard that they had put the original on some special version of DVD, but I didn't know which one it was.
And it's called. Well, this is a fan done thing. It's a like one of the big things about it is if you're going to download it from them, they specifically say you have to own at least some version of this before you download it.
Yeah,
Because they're like, come on, don't do anything dumb.
that was kind of what they used to say with like copying games for a mod chip back in the day.
Yeah, they did say that, didn't they? Yeah, there's Han shooting first.
I like how they drew Greedo in there.
Yeah, I love how Greedo's drawn.
Hand shot only is what Jonathan says.
Yes, that's the way of putting it. They have amazing. This manga is basically the thing that got me drawing sword fights the way that they do. This is just great.
Yeah, it's where they just have like the blur at an arc with the movement.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And Kenobi draws it like a samurai, which is even better. No, the best thing is actually in the second book.
Yeah, I didn't know that Dark Horse had brought. I know they did manga and stuff in the '80s, but I didn't know that they had translated that.
Yep, translated back in the '90s, and that's just gorgeous.
Oh, cool. Oh.
I'm fairly certain that that is a shot of the trench and everything on the Death Star, and he just stuck it in there. But
yeah, either that or there are some there were some workers lost in the process of making.
Yeah, more than likely that too. There's definitely some assistants that are probably hating life after doing that.
But, how many crumpled up Chesterfield straight cigarettes were
exactly. Like I know the Death Star here, that's right from the movie.
Yeah.
And then he drew over it a bit because I can tell where he drew in the cannon and everything.
Yeah, to kind of pop it out. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it's always fascinating when you look at like the Atomo stuff, like how much stuff the assistants did on that. But when you see the original layout, like he had thought the entire shot. It was just the labor around it that was all done.
Exactly.
Like the.
I mean, all these X-wings, these are all done by hand.
Yeah,
like, these aren't models or anything like that. That's all hand drawn. This is before the era of I'm going to drop a 3D model in and trace it.
Well, and even now, that's mostly because of the specificity of Star Wars. Everybody that I know that worked on the Marvel Star Wars had to use the 3D models that they were given. Like it wasn't. It wasn't
I'm well aware of those.
Yeah, it wasn't even a choice.
Nope, you're not given a choice, and you have to trace on the faces. And I know that my art is too manga for them.
I had high hopes for the recent Lando comic that they started, but I just didn't keep up with it because he's probably the character that I thought had the most of like, oh man, they could tell a million stories with this guy.
Yeah.
Of stuff that wasn't part of the what would you call it, like the myth arc, like for using X-Files terms.
Oh yeah, the basically expanded universe stuff where you can just kind of go in your own way with it.
Yeah. I mean, don't you just want to ride around with he and Chewie in adventures?
Yes, because those books were awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is like the stuff that I love is this whole thing. Years ago when I was a kid, I copied this page like 6 or 7 times.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's how like imposing Vader is and everything. And then you get that. Nice. I love the fact that it has the Japanese sound effects and everything in here.
And that's something I've seen in your work too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
With
stick
the,
all that stuff in.
yeah. And actually, early Jay Kennedy work had those types of sound effects
Oh, I
added
didn't
to
realize
it.
he did that.
Yeah, he used to have a lot more manga influence on his stuff, like the early Distracula stuff.
Hmm,
He would have those sound effects, and he knew what they all meant. So, you know.
that's even better. Because a lot of people don't. I can tell you that my editors told me not to use Japanese sound effects. They told me use American ones.
Yeah, that's surprising, but I mean, it must be for the vision that they have.
Yeah, well, they have somebody who's trying to teach me Japanese too now, so that's pretty cool. And my whole thing of doing Eastman Laird meets manga has also been fun.
Yeah. Well, and they were into that stuff as well. So
Yep. Well, so the original thing that I pitched them was much more my usual thing. So very much more my it's more cartoony. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to hold out the way I'm drawing this right now, and if before I start to shift back that way. But hey,
yeah,
if I can do it inorganically and they don't notice, I'll be happy
yeah,
because it's a pain in the ass.
lots of reference. I Some of the short stories that I want to do in the post Undersea Hero fulfilled completion world take place in the the regular real world. But like one of the things is there's some of the places I don't want to overly reference them. I want them to be incorrect in the way that I remember them, and I want to
Oh, I like that.
use that as part of the story. I'll try to remember as best I can, but I don't know. There's something about it being changed by memory that I think will be interesting as far as the process goes.
No, I think that'd be cool. I'm actually doing a homage right now to Ninja Turtles 1.
Standing on the side of the building.
No, I'm doing I'm going to be making her kind of jumping out towards the audience the way the four turtles did on page 2 and 3.
The splash page. Yeah.
Yeah. So I figure I will get it done here, and then I will scan it in and probably make a few adjustments before my editor will accept it. But and then I'll hand ink the original and sell it.
Yep. And that's what a lot of artists do. They'll pencil digitally because you can have all of your perspective tools or whatever. And yeah, that's what my buddy Nate does.
Yeah, no, that's kind of the way I've been going more is penciling everything digitally and then printing it.
I did that for a little while, but I don't know. I've kind of gone the Eric Larson direction where I don't even want to do prelims anymore. So I'm just kind of going at it. I'll do literally what look like just blobs or like geometric shapes to make sure the proportions are right
Mm-hmm.
and that the continuity's there. But like as far as figuring out the minutia, I get so frustrated when it feels like I'm just repeating myself over and over again from prelim to finished piece, and that's I don't know. I just don't want to have that relationship with the process anymore, where it just isn't.
No, I can respect that. I don't have a choice.
Yeah, no, and that's largely what commercial art is you have to send them something for approval, and they'll tell you changes or not changes and that kind of stuff, and I guess that's part of the commercial process that I've just grown to enjoy less as I've gotten older. But I still want to be able to produce a body of work. Um,
No, I mean, I still do my thumbnails. Actually, this one I didn't really thumbnail because I kind of know what I wanted, so it's just like I can fake it. But usually
yeah,
I thumbnail everything out. Now I have to, and my thumbnails are just basically blobs. So
Yeah, and I was putting too much time and effort and detail into it and solving every little thing. Because for me, the fun part is in the, like figuring out the stuff. Like once I've figured it out, I just like kind of lose interest.
Mm.
And I'll force myself through it. Like when it's a paid job and you've accepted the person's money and that kind of stuff, you have to, you got to do the job. You've agreed to do it and be a professional. But like when I'm doing stuff for myself, I don't know. I just don't want to make myself miserable.
I can completely understand that too.
Yeah. I want to figure out enough so that if I need to edit the story and that all the beats are there, but anything beyond that, I want to figure out as I'm constructing it.
Like even right here, I'm like, oh, I'm not too sure I like how the torso is looking. I'm going to draw in the cylinder.
Yeah, yeah. And that's one of the reasons I started using the blue and then the regular pencil so that I get two cracks at it. And then if I need to redo something, then so be it.
That's one of the reasons I use the red pencil.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Same idea.
Stuff. Yep.
Where did my other pen?
Because the thing that always blows me, it's actually the hips.
Yeah.
Every time, it's the thing that will mess me up is making the hips into the picture.
Yeah, because you've got to keep the structure of the bones, and then there's how the meat like wraps around it, and the way it changes shape.
Yep.
It's hard. It's same thing with shoulder sockets.
Yeah, yeah. That I can fake those a little bit easier.
Like when the arm is at, let's say at shoulder level, straight ahead, and you can see the entire shoulder muscle underneath the arm too, where the armpit is. Like, and it's counterintuitive. Like you're thinking like, oh, you can't possibly see both sides of it, but you can.
Yeah, but you can.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that drives me nuts.
I don't know why I did a full figure on this one. I was just being greedy. Being greedy.
Oh, it's looking good. That's Undersea Hero, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I love the simplicity of some of your stuff when you sketch it out. It just looks so good.
I've been trying to simplify the shapes and put them into space more succinctly. Before I would get them to be a little bit mushy, and then I would try to like bury it with like lighting or something. And I don't know. I've been trying to run away from that less.
Something I wanted to reference. Yeah, no, I said I had a massive art project on me for the past couple of months I've been doing. Kind of teaching myself a different style. Literally redrew all of Leonardo 1.
Is that your favorite of the one-shots from back in the day?
It is. And then I did the Return to New York run. Not as crazy as I did Leonardo 1, but I did do 19, 20, and 21.
Which one was the one where Jack Kirby shows up? Was that Donatello?
Donatello.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was a fun one too. Yeah. I know that Kevin and Peter always said, "Oh, we both did things," and they even called it like the two of them together created a third artist that doesn't exist anymore. That was kind of how they used to describe it. But like, I always felt that Donatello one was more Peter.
That was more Peter. I can tell you that was definitely more Peter.
Okay, I believe you. Just because from looking at it, it was just like, and the feel of it and all the Kirby stuff in it, and he was just like a Kirby junkie.
Yep. I mean, he had original pages from the Losers hanging up on his wall.
You got to be hardcore Kirby to be like, man, I want a Losers page.
Yeah, and he had original pages from the Losers hanging up on his wall.
That's cool.
I've met Laird a few times.
Only once, and it was before I ever worked on the Ninja Turtles. It was when it was at a show we were both at in the basement at
the Boston Comic Con.
Yeah,
that was a great show. That was on the 25th anniversary of Turtles. That's how old we are.
Yeah, it was. He was sitting across from Bernie, and Craig was like just next to him, Russo, and we were like, Jay and I were like around the corner.
I was like in a different world. So,
Yeah.
so I was with the Boston Comics people, I think.
Oh, the round table. Okay.
Yeah, Boston Comics Roundtable. That's what I was with. I was there with Rick.
Rick and Jen.
Yep, I think it was just Rick though that I was with that time.
Oh, okay.
I don't think Jen was there. She might have been. It's so long ago. I don't even remember. But yeah, no, I met Laird a couple of times, and I've met Eastman like once.
See, mine's the opposite. I've met Kevin a bunch of times, but I've only met Peter that one time.
The one time I met, well, actually, I shouldn't say that. When I was little, I met them a lot because I was at the cons that they were at to get turtles.
See, that makes sense.
Because I was at the '84 convention where they had turtles, like in April or May of '84. I wasn't even seven. I don't even think I was 7 years old. No, it wasn't 8 years old yet. And I was buying turtles from them. I remember this specifically because I made it a point that it was my money I was spending on it. It's money I had earned from doing chores and stuff.
See, I feel like that's the cartoonist dream is to have a comic that the local youth wants to spend their chore money on.
Yeah, that was definitely a dream. Yeah, no, I was joking with Peter the other day, Peter Palmiotti, and he's like, "You drawing turtles?" And I'm like, "Way too much. They should be paying me to draw turtles."
Should try to have Peter on the stream at some point.
We definitely should.
Remember that one time when you drew Aquaman? That was awesome.
That was great. Needed Aquaman again.
That was awesome.
We know exactly how that show's gonna go.
It'll be a Pulitzer Prize winning interview. You remember that one time when you drew
Aquaman?
Black Manta?
Oh, Black Manta in Aquaman.
That was awesome.
He's like, I inked it, right? Not that. That's fine. It was still Aquaman.
Remember that one time you inked Aquaman?
Yeah.
That was awesome.
I actually colored some of his Aquaman pieces recently.
Oh, cool.
I just didn't say recently. A couple of years ago, he's like, "Yeah, can you give these a color for me?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "What do you want? Buy me lunch." He's like, "Okay."
I did not realize he inked some of the Lineal U Wolverine. I had a subscription in the post office again, kids, directly from Marvel back at that time.
He might not have been credited for it because he did a lot of fill-in stuff.
Yeah, he posted a page that he had inked it. I was like, wow, that was because I see Lineal U's run on that as like one of those that should be far more celebrated than it is.
Oh, I completely agree with you. I have that entire run of Wolverine.
The only thing that like kind of like gave it a hard start was they had to do that crossover with Zero Tolerance, that story with Bastion. And it just like they had a story going and then they kind of had to do the side quest for the big company crossover. And I felt like that kind of just stalled it out. But then a couple issues later, they were back cooking.
Well, that was like what Peter David always said about when he was working on X Factor. He's like, and then every year they do this crossover that messes up all my stories.
Yeah. I just see it as being a thing that would definitely make it tough to get momentum.
I completely agree with that.
Unless you plan on it from the start. Like, we're going to do this story, but this is how this ties in and, etc. Maybe I'm wrong. I've never done a multi-title crossover. I've done a single line crossover with the AR stuff, but that was planned from the beginning that it would all lead to that one issue of War.
Well, that works. They still going on Altered Reality?
The shows are, but I don't think they're doing anything with the books, so that's their prerogative.
Yeah, it's their stuff. draw a Swamp Thing for you?
A long time ago. I have it in a binder over here somewhere. It's just a pencil drawing.
Oh,
I think it might have been when we were just hanging out at a table and you were bored.
oh, okay.
It's
That
not like a finished inked thing.
fair enough. I was just thinking about it. I'm like, when did I draw Swamp? I mean, to be fair, I've drawn a lot of Swamp Thing, but that's actually one of the characters. If I'm ever going to draw Swamp Thing, I always have to pull out the rights and stuff first to look at.
I'm excited to pick up the issue that they're publishing that they with the it's not Bissett and Toldeban. It was Rick Veitch and what's his name? The Vince Locke, where he meets Jesus.
Oh, yeah, they are going to publish that, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I will definitely get that. I mean, my recovering Catholicism demands it.
I just find it fascinating when they find. I like when stuff gets finished like that. It just comes out of nowhere. Like, hey, I still think that at some point between now and when all of the image partners are no longer with us, that one of them or several of them will finish something close to Image United.
That would be cool.
Because one of the reasons it was stalled out was because Youngblood was not with Image anymore. Now Youngblood is back with Image.
Back with Image.
So
yeah, I don't know how that works, and I'm friends with Rob. So I just didn't ask.
I know he sold some stakes for like the licensing, but I don't know anything beyond that.
Mm.
And I know he's talked about it, so I don't have any authority on any of the specificity.
Yeah, I think he did a podcast on it or something, and I just need to sit down and listen to it. Oh, this is even working for me. Damn, I know what I want, but I'm not getting it. Okay, I'll admit this is where I can do the blobbies a little bit easier. What I probably should have done was actually thumbnailed this on and then light boarded over my idea. Oh well.
The old analog version of drawing in layers.
Yep. Still like doing it.
Yeah, sometimes I have to do it. Yeah, for sure.
No, I bring my light board most places I go.
When I really want, like, especially if I'm doing a title for something, I'll rough it in pencil first, and then I'll transfer it over.
Oh God, yeah.
That's one that I will definitely use it for.
Oh, and when I'm doing hand lettering, because I actually really like hand lettering.
Yep.
I don't really hand letter my dialogue, but sound effects and all that, I love hand lettering. I will definitely do that on something else first, and then I'll do it for real.
I've been doing my hand lettering layered and digitally for a lot of stuff, but I've really switched over to doing it manually. And on those Helena pages, they're all on the board, and I'm just gonna keep doing it that way. I don't know, like unless a publisher tells me otherwise, and I have no idea what a future publisher gig would be, because for the French edition, which we've announced, the Undersea Hero. I'm actually re-lettering it in by hand so that it doesn't look like a translation just dropped on top of it, because the lettering in Undersea Hero is very much a part of the pages. And,
well, yeah.
So it'll look like the whole thing is still in my hand, but it'll just be in French.
That is awesome. With what Jin's been doing with her stuff.
Yeah, I've really been enjoying her posts. Her art looks. I mean, she's just continues to level up.
Oh God, yeah.
I like her stuff.
Just trying to get the whole wrist into the whole arm into this.
Another Boston Comics Roundtable alum who's done some Awesome stuff. The Dragon of Watley by E.J. Barnes was
Oh, yeah.
exquisite. I did finally get around to reading it, so if you see it on a shelf or you check out her stuff, E.J. Barnes.
Yeah, I actually have to get that and read it. I'll probably bug her at the next mice or something like that. I love EJ's stuff.
I like that book that she wrote, the Ling Master book. I enjoyed that one.
She did write that, didn't she?
Yeah.
I gotta read. Oh, I'm so behind on a lot of my reading.
I haven't read that in years, but I picked it up a long time ago. They were like little digest-sized books.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, actually, I think I did read those. Maybe I don't.
Yeah, those were a long time ago.
Starting to say, oh, yeah, keeping this up the way they want it. I don't know if I'm gonna get to do it. Yeah, my original idea was more of a steampunk storyline that was set in a quasi Boston meets San Francisco city design that was connected to a city that was basically Hong Kong.
Interesting.
I called it Savage Starfall Streetwise Sisters.
I dig the title. I can dig that.
It was I had so much fun with the designs on that.
This channel, we've expressed my admiration and appreciation for the Dr. Pam Grier, and that title would definitely be a film I could see her being a kick-ass person in.
Yeah.
Just by the title. I have not seen it.
Do I have some stuff around here someplace I could pull out. I have like a bunch of my concept art and things, some rough layout pages and stuff. I said that was the one that was initially approved, and I was psyched because I'm like, I'm going to do my Saturday morning kind of cartoon stuff.
Yeah.
And then they were like, literally, I got this thing where it's like, can you do dark and gritty? I love Americans who do dark and gritty.
Yeah, that is a thing. As long as you're paying.
Yeah, that's basically it. So,
yeah.
There, that's working a little better. Oh,
I kind of get this one colored, but we got it mostly drawn, so.
No, I thought.
Real simple, just swimming forward, so that when it's shipped, looks like he's moving.
Just keep on swimming?
Yep.
Yeah, this is actually starting to look more like my Savage Starfall art, so.
All right, well, we have eclipsed 9:30.
Oh, we did we? Yes, we did. We started late, though.
I believe Seashell is in. Hey, Clarissa, how you doing?
Clarissa's here?
Yeah. When anyone buys books, do I send them in these boxes? I send them in different boxes. I've got these boxes, which I draw on, like the one we did earlier, and then I also have the little mailer boxes. It depends. On these big boxes, you get the. This is for like the original pages of artwork, like or a big poster. I still have a handful of those San Diego debut prints.
Oh, you still have some of those.
Yeah, I've got some of those. I brought a few to the last show. I'll bring some to Little Giant for when we did our 2023 debut. Like this is the type of box you would get. And I do free drawings on boxes. It's an old cartoonist tradition that I
Yeah,
am glad.
that goes back to the comic strip people.
Yep, it really does. They would or they would do it on little envelopes back then, or
Yeah.
on postcards. Alex Toth wrote a million postcards that he drew these little geese on for people. Um,
Yeah, that was actually Alex Toth was one of the ones I was going to bring up, and uh, little Abner guy. He got
Al
his
Cap.
assistants. Yeah, Al Cap. He got his assistants to do them, and then he'd go in and draw the face.
That's enough.
Yep.
But yeah, I just do little drawings on them, and it's one of the reasons why my fulfillment takes me forever. But it's in hopes that it also just makes it brings more joy to people. So
More of an experience.
yeah,
I
but we
always
got
like
to.
getting stuff from you.
Oh, we'll have some more stuff in 2 weeks at Little Giant, and thanks everybody for joining us tonight, and thank you, Allison, for being here, and
Thank you for having me as always. I love hanging out with you.
yeah, likewise. And
You're one of my best buddies.
we will see everybody at the next one.
Yep.
Good night.
Night.